Literally heaven on earth. Yeah, guys, this for me is an holiday dish, especially now that we are in Christmas period where you're hosting a lot of people. This is an easy thing to make. It's one pot, and it's very easy for you to just impress your family and friends. Welcome back to Kiki's Global Flavors, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. My name is Kiki, and today we're going to be making pilau. Being Christmas period, pilau is one of the dishes that grace our tables, especially here in Kenya. So for the main star, as we normally say in this channel, so we have our rice. So it would be best to use the pishori rice, any kind of pishori rice or basmati, whatever doesn't really stick. Then we have our meat. So for pilau you can use any kind of meat. So for me, I like goat meat in my pilau because it's more flavorful. And then the other main star is of course our spices. So in here I have a couple of things. I have some cloves, some cardamom, I have some cinnamon, I also have some cumin. So I like to use the raw spices. Other than that, I have some stock, some goat stock. So the meat, I boiled this earlier, not too much, just middle, because I don't want it to be overcooked, but I want it to be soft. So this is the stock that came with that. And other than that, I also have my bay leaf, and I did mince crush some garlic and ginger and some oil. And then to pair our pilau, we're going to be making kachumbari. So here I have my onions, which I've soaked in water, and some salt. So actually I'm going to be putting this in the fridge so that when I come to chop them, it won't be so strong for my eyes. Yeah, so that's a tip for you guys when you need to chop a lot of onions. Then I will have my tomatoes for my kachumbari. I have some lemon that I'll squeeze, and I also have some green peppers. I have 2 of these, so I'll also be using that for the kachumbari. And I have a lot of onions here. So for your pilau, basically, for it to be flavorful, you need onions, and you need to make this to be golden brown. To start us off, I have a pan, so I'm just going to turn my heat on. I want this to dry. Then I'm going to put my spices in here, toast them under low heat, and for a bit until I can smell the aroma and the fragrance. And then once that's done, I'm going to put that in my blender. And then that is the spice I'm going to use for my pilau. Our masala is ready, so I'm just drying out my pot. I'm going to now put my oil. So for pilau, the oil is a little bit more than the normal cooking, not too much, but still a bit more. My onions are now golden brown. This is where you want to reach. If you go beyond this, it will be tough. So I'm going to just put in my minced garlic and ginger. Also put in my meat at the same time. This is my... I really want it to blend. I don't want it to seem boiled still, so I want it to coat in the onions and become a bit more crunchy, if that makes sense. My meat has coated up all that goodness, so I'm now going to put in my tomatoes and my potatoes at the same time. So I have some tomatoes here. I don't like my pilau with too many tomatoes, so this is about 1.5, not too much. Wait for I also think I'll put my masala at this point, so I'll do, this is not all the effort, so I'll do this. And so it depends on how spicy you want your pilau to be. Look at that, it's already looking so yummy. So my potatoes are almost cooked. They're not cooked, they're just maybe halfway, which is what I was aiming for. So at this stage, I'm now, I mentioned that you can use more pilau masala if you want your masala. That depends with the preference, whether you want it to be too conk or too whatever you want. But for me, 1 to 1.5 tablespoon is enough for 2 cups. So yeah, almost 2 cups, so maybe 1.5 water. So I'm just I put my rice first. For me, I prefer that. I find it to be more flavorful if I put the rice and stir it in first. So one thing we didn't add yet is the salt. So yeah, I have my bay leaf. I'll use, actually the bottle is over, so this is just a half, so I can just do both. So I remove this at the end. No one wants leaves in their meal. So I'm just going to stir in, and then at this point I'll add in my stock. So for me, because I want to slow cook this, I used 1.25 cup of rice. So assuming it was 2 cups, I would do, that would be 3.5 cups of water or stock, as opposed to 4 cups of 1:2 or 3.5 water. So I reduced my water because I know at the end I'm going to use some foil paper on this and let this slow cook. So, and I find that once you are deliberate and slow with your rice, it comes out very nicely. So as we wait for this to it's actually almost coming to a boil. I'll be releasing it in a minute. So maybe I can mention a fun fact or something that I learned while I was researching about the history of this dish. I mentioned earlier that since rice came, the introduction of rice, there's been modernization of how people make rice, and there is a variation of pilau in different cultures. Maybe not exactly the same way, but the concept of cooking rice with meat and spices is the same. So for example, in India they call it pulao. In Iran it's polo. Of course my pronunciation might not be perfect. In Uzbekistan they call it palov or pilov. In China it's also polo. In Turkey it's pilau. In Japan it's pilaf. In Arab it's also pilaf. In Spain it's paella. So it's very interesting to see. Even the name is almost the same, because the concept of pilau is basically mixing rice with some meat, spices, and some level of vegetables. Our pilau is actually ready, so I'm just going to fluff it. So when you want to fluff your rice, it's best to use a fork so that you don't smash it and for it to get clumpy. So I let it cook and then I let it sit for a bit, just in there without any heat. So remember my bay leaf, so they're actually still intact, they don't crash. So my hands are clean, so I'm just going to throw this away. The purpose it was serving is that. Now I'm just going to go ahead to make the kachumbari. So to make your kachumbari, I know people make it differently. Here I have my onions. So remember that I had soaked this in some water, cold water, and some salt. So this helps me when I'm chopping, so I will not have that stingy taste and feeling in my eyes. So that's my hack for when you want to make kachumbari or just cut any onions. So I have my tomatoes here. I have some green peppers, which you can skip if you're not a pepper person. I also am going to squeeze in, not all of it, maybe half of this. And you can also add coriander, the leaves itself, or avocado. So but for me, for today, I don't want avocado today in the kachumbari because already I feel like this is going to be too filling. Our pilau and kachumbari is ready, guys. I've been waiting for this moment since it started. All the spices, the aroma has led us to this moment. So I have my pilau here and my kachumbari, and as usual we're going to go in and taste. And of course I also have my glass of a drink here. Literally heaven on earth. Yeah, guys, like maybe I'm biased because I love rice, but this for me is an holiday dish, especially now that we are in Christmas period where you're hosting a lot of people. This is an easy thing to make. It's one pot and it's very easy for you to just impress your family and friends. I think I'm going to finish here and sit and enjoy this nice plate of pilau and kachumbari and my drink, and hopefully you're also enjoying yourself with your family and that Christmas is kind to you. And next time we're going to be trying more holiday dishes, so stay tuned. Bye.